Uh-oh. You know what this means. When these boots are out, it means we're going out. So, today is my mom's birthday. She would have turned 87. So, happy birthday, Mom. We're gonna go out to get some dinner to celebrate. And I wanted to get dressed up for the occasion, so I'm putting on these boots. She's never seen these boots, but I have a feeling she would have really liked them because she had a little bit of a glamour thing herself. So let's get the boots on. It's funny that when I first saw these boots, I had to convince myself to actually buy them because I thought, these are not regular boots. When will I ever wear them? And I probably wear them more than any other footwear in my closet. I like the height that it gives me. So I'm gonna be wearing this fragrance here. I've been wearing this a lot in the past week or two. It's called Cuir à Cour, and it's from Chambre 52. I've been wearing a lot of leather fragrances recently, and this is one I just love. There are a lot of leather fragrances I do not like at all, but this one is what I like. It's soft and supple with really nice spices. I've already scented myself. I actually just came from work and I smell like work, but I want to just, for good measure, put on a little bit more. I'm going to talk more about this brand because I'm really fascinated by it and the bottle itself. It's just such an incredible design. All right, I'm going to get my jacket. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Look at this cool flower. It's from Turkey?
Yeah, it's from a Etsy seller from Turkey. I had a vision of a crocheted flower, and
then you made it happen. I love it. Cool. I can't wait to eat. This place is so good. But I do remember this restaurant's called Bestia, and they make amazing Italian, but I remember it's very noisy inside.
We'll have to speak loudly.
We're gonna have to speak really loudly, right?
I'm gonna use my outdoor voice.
Do it. Cheers. Cheers. Happy birthday, Mom. That was such a good dinner. I really feel that was a good celebration worthy of my mom's birthday. So we started off with this salad, which was endive and fig and gorgonzola. And the reason why I think this restaurant is so good, because everything just tastes effortless, you know, like they just put it together and it all works. It doesn't feel labored over. So the bitterness of the endive with the sweetness of the fig and the saltiness of the gorgonzola, it was perfect. Then after that, we had this pizza, and I've been to Naples a couple of times and Capri. I did some exhibitions in Naples and I had the best pizza ever, and I kind of understood what pizza's supposed to be. It's this chewy, thin, delicious crust. It's light, it's not overly greasy, it's beautiful. And this pizza was just like that with this smoked mozzarella. I loved it. Next, we had some pasta. It was spaghetti with squid ink and lobster. I tasted just a little touch of lemon in there, and I couldn't help but think if my mom tasted it, she would have said, "This is very Korean." Basically, if my mom liked anything, she would say it was Korean. And, well, sure, you get some, well, no, there's no pasta in Korean food. Anyway, she would have said it's very Korean, and she would have a point. I felt like it was kind of Korean too. And then the final dish was lamb. If I see slow roast lamb on a menu, I order it. It's as simple as that. And it was so good. It just melted off the bone. But what really surprised me was they gave us this bed of lettuce. You're supposed to take a lettuce leaf, put the lamb in it, and then put a little bit of a sauce over it. This sauce was creme fraiche and a lot of mint, almost like a tzatziki style flavor. And again, it reminded me of Korean food. It reminded me of having bulgogi on a lettuce leaf with gochujang and rice, some bap. So my mom is right. It all comes down to Korea. So good. We are so full. We didn't even bother to look at the dessert menu. But that was absolutely delicious. We had it along with a Loire Valley Gamay wine. And it was perfection. As we were leaving the restaurant, we heard people singing happy birthday. And this isn't the first time that I randomly heard people singing happy birthday on a significant birthday. So I feel like it was for her, for sure. This was a very nice night. Okay, so we're back at the Long Beach Flea Market, and the weather's perfect. I actually thought it was going to be insanely hot, and I was like, Brennan, we need to get some sunblock because we're going to be so hot. And it's actually overcast. It's perfect. So what I'm kind of hoping to find is a bottle of Opium or some other perfume bottle that's designed by Pierre Dinand. So far, I haven't had any luck. I actually haven't seen anything that I like. But I did find this book from Rizzoli. There are a lot of bottles in this book of Pierre Dinand's work. So this is great. Very happy to have this in my collection. So let's see what they've got here. Obviously, I want these Macintosh preamplifier and tuner, but I'll walk away.
Target usually have.
Look at this cutie. Oh, his name was Noodle. So I did have some success at Third Eye Records in Long Beach. I didn't find the Nation of Language album because I don't think it's been released yet. But I did find this, English Settlement from XTC. This is such a big album for me. I used to listen to it non-stop for years, literally. I think I taped it from a friend's record. I don't remember which friend. And I just listened to that tape forever and ever, but I don't have a tape player right now. So I've been wanting this record back in my collection. So I'm so glad that they had it. And it's an old used record, which is wonderful. I think it was like $10. They've reprinted this, but the reprint is like $30 or $40. And I actually like pressings from the 80s a little bit better anyway, because I'm a geek that way. Anyway, we were listening to it last night, and instead of No Thugs in Our House, Brennan and I were singing Two Pugs in Our House, which is not that funny, unless you're an XTC fan, and even then it's probably not that funny. Now I want to show you this book that I found at the flea market, the one and only thing I bought at the flea market. And it's this. It's called Perfumes, written by Jean-Yves Gabory. It's so good. I am so glad I bought this. It was published in 1982. It goes brand by brand, mostly French brands, talking about these iconic perfumes, but also about the bottle design. Okay, so this is something else I really like to do. I like to cover these jackets because I'm a nerd like that. So I'm going to do that right now. And the actual book itself is beautiful. It's the saffron color. Just on its own is striking. But anyway, let's cover this really quickly. I love how when you get certain books from the library, the sleeves are covered in this film. That's where I got the idea to do it with books in my own collection, so that it's protected from pug hairs. Do you want to do a little bit? Thank you, Saki. I also think that this film acts like a transparent glaze, and it really richens and deepens the color of the book jacket. Wow, I feel like it's wrapping a present for myself. I don't know about you, but I found that oddly satisfying. All right, there's one particular picture I'm dying to show you. Let me find it. Here we go. This is it. This is Opium from Yves Saint Laurent. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because of that bottle. I learned so much this week, but first I have to backtrack a little bit. Remember how when I got dinner to celebrate my mom's birthday, I put on this perfume, Cuir à Cour from Chambre 52. Really a beautiful scent. Leather. I've been wearing a lot of leather fragrances lately. Very chic. So I thought this was a perfect going out fragrance, and it really was. But the reason why I'm thinking about this brand so much, this scent I'm wearing, also contre ta peau, or on your skin or against your skin, a really pretty fluffy orange blossom. It's innocent, but it's also very sensual. I love this. I was so lucky to meet the founder of this brand. His name is Nicolas. and he was in Los Angeles. We had a really great conversation, and it was thrilling to learn about the conception of this brand, how it all came to be, his history in perfume, and what he was thinking about when he started Chambre 52. It really gave me so much more insight into each perfume, so things like that are very valuable. This is probably what I love most about my job, meeting the people behind the fragrances, also meeting the people who enjoy them. It's a fun job in general. But one thing I learned was these bottles were designed by a legendary perfume bottle designer named Pierre Dinand. I have to say that before this conversation with Nicolas, I'd never heard that name, which is kind of weird because when I started looking into Pierre Dinand, I realized he designed like every bottle that I love. Like every iconic perfume bottle he designed. So it's incredible that he was able to get Pierre Dinand to design these bottles. He's in his 90s, but he's still working in his atelier. I think Nicolas said it was on Boulevard Saint-Germain in Paris. And apparently he works with his grandson. His grandson is on the computer, and Pierre is still with paper and pen drawing the designs of these bottles and caps. What an artist. When I started thinking about all of his designs and how they've had such an impact on my life, how they've been part of my life for so many decades, for as long as I can remember, it's kind of incredible. I don't know if many artists have had that much of an impact on me. And to think I didn't even know his name until this week. So let me show you a few of his other bottle designs. These are all from my collection. There are so many more that he's designed that I probably even have in my collection, but I just grabbed the first ones that I could find. For example, I wish Opium from Saint Laurent was here. My mom had that very bottle that I showed you in the picture with that little circular window. So stunning. I love that. One of the first fragrances I ever bought for myself was this. It's Drakkar from Guy Laroche. This isn't the actual bottle. I bought this bottle maybe 15 years ago when I started hunting down all of the fragrances that I used to wear as a teen and in my young 20s. And thankfully I found this small bottle. This is a 30 milliliter. But the original bottle that I bought, the first ever fragrance I bought for myself, I was in 8th grade, was the 100 ml Drakkar Noir. And come to think of it, it was kind of funny because it was a splash. I can't imagine in 2025 a fragrance, a popular fragrance being sold as a splash. Everything's always a spray, but it was a splash. I put this on last night for old time's sake, and it really still takes me away. I was so enamored with this fragrance, not just the smell, but the whole look and design of it, that I remember in 8th grade art class, we had to design an ad. That was our assignment. And I designed an ad for Drakkar Noir. And I remember I took a black piece of paper and I drew the outline of this with white chalk. So that's how much I loved this design. And then I think that there was like a little cloud in the background of acid green, which was supposed to give you that freshness, the citrus and the brightness of this scent. Anyway, the second ever fragrance I ever bought for myself was Obsession for Men. And guess what? This bottle was also designed by Pierre Dinand. These shapes, I mean, I wonder if he's even influenced my sculpture. Maybe. I don't know. But just everything, the way that type sits on the bottle, it's just perfect. The color of this cap, it's kind of beautiful chestnut. Still, this is such an important fragrance for me, and I love to wear it. When I think about spicy amber scents, this is really the way to go. I feel there are a lot of fragrances that go in this direction. Like, for example, I was recently wearing Feu Patchouli from Maison Rebacci. And for me, It smells like a reinterpretation of Obsession for Men, and that is high praise. All right, we can see these shapes kind of echoing each other. Eau dynamisante from Clarins. I love this. I think of this kind of as an eau de cologne. I love the red bottle. It's so perfect. And again, the way the type sits on this bottle. Perfect white cap. I think of this as an eau de cologne because it's mostly these citrus and aromatic notes. It's not the longest lasting thing in the world, but I love the other products of this smell, like the shower gel. The shower gel used to come in this big plastic round bottle. Its shape was reminiscent of this. So I love that. It was all using the vocabulary that Pierre Dinand put in place. Fantastic. I also have the deodorant of this. Oh, I'm forgetting one of the most important ones. I'll be right back. Eternity. So apparently Dinand did a lot with Calvin Klein. I would say during the golden age of Calvin Klein fragrances. I don't think he did CK1 though. I could be wrong, but I don't think he designed that. I bought this last year. I think it was at the perfume store near my dentist. For several reasons. The bottle was one big reason. Look how architectural that is. It's so cool. But also because of the smell. I have a lot of memories of this. It came out when I was in high school, and I remember my friend Nicole wore this fragrance. We would drive around in her car. The make of it was called Le Car. Do you remember those? And she also had some incense. Let's call it cheap incense, because it was probably like a huge bundle for like $1. And it smelled not bad. It was kind of rosy scented. So inside her car was the incense, and she was wearing Eternity. I love it. Whenever I smell this on other people, I get this synesthetic moment where I feel that there's a glow coming from within, and it's a purpley red color. So whenever I would smell this on Nicole, I would instantly imagine this red glow coming from the scent itself. And then a few years later, when I was living in London, my friend Lorraine wore this. She wore this for years. It was her signature scent. And I kept thinking about glowing roses and violets coming from her. It was quite strong. This has such presence and such a shape. So that's also why I bought this for myself. And it does smell how I remember it, but it doesn't wear how I remember it, at least not on me. When I put this fragrance on, there's no glow. But I'm still happy that I have this for reference, and I like to just smell it around. Maybe I'm just going to spray this on random friends and see if I can get that glow to come back. Watch out, friends. I'm pretty sure, I should have looked this up, but yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that Pierre Dinand designed this bottle. And this one stopped me in my tracks when I first saw it. I was a young teen, I was going through a magazine, and there was this ad of a woman with this incredibly 80s makeup, like she had maybe 8 different colors on her eyelid. And she was pretty gothed out, and she was holding this bottle. And the caption said, "Poison is my potion." Now, looking back, I realized that a lot of things in pop culture in the late 80s were flavored with goth. But at the time, it just seemed normal. It seemed like what I liked, what most people liked. But it was quite goth. Look at this incredible bottle. It's like the poisoned apple with this crystal clear stopper and that bronzy gold on the purple glass. Just stunning. This is one of the best bottles ever designed for perfume, in my opinion. And of course, it's Pierre Dinand who did it. I have one more bottle to show you. This is from the brand Wilhelm. And I suppose you can see some of the things that Pierre Dinand likes. He likes this texture, this fluting. And I'm pretty sure he designed the logo on top of that cap. that color. Really gorgeous. I remember the first time I saw this brand, it was at Barney's, and the look of it stopped me in my tracks. I think that is something that all of Pierre Dinand's work has in common. It just stops me, and I look at it and I think, that is a perfume bottle. I felt exactly that way with Chambre 52, and now I understand why. And it's a perfect vessel for these fragrances. They just smell so absolutely incredible. Very chic, coming from a long French perfume tradition, but these have more of a gauzy texture, so they're more contemporary than a classical French perfume. So good, all of these. I think the look of perfume is incredibly important to me. And I hear customers all the time wanting to look at certain bottles and trying them on, and they say things like, I know I shouldn't be swayed by the look of the bottle. And I'm thinking, of course you should be. That's such a huge part of the story. And when you think of all of the care and creativity that goes into the look of the bottle to really enhance the story that this perfume is telling, it's no small thing. It's absolutely huge. So tell me what your favorite bottles are. What are the bottles that just stopped you in your tracks when you saw them? And they don't have to be flamboyant and crazy. Maybe even something as simple as Chanel No. 5. It's just perfection in its elegance and its simplicity. But yeah, I love looking at perfume bottles. And because of this book, I can just sit around and look at some masterpiece bottles whenever I want. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I love your comments. I can't wait to hear about your favorite perfume bottles or anything else that you have in mind. And I'll see you next time.